Chris Van Allsburg is arguably one of the most intriguing children's book author and illustrators. But did you know that he never intended on becoming an artist? Imagine a world without Jumanji or The Polar Express, two books that have been made into major motion pictures. Chris Van Allsburg's career was almost cut short when he was applying to college and did not know what area he wanted to go into. Once deciding that art and design might be fun, he had to convince the admissions that he had been taking private art lessons on the weekends for the last 4 years, as he did not have any kind of portfolio to submit like the other art applicants. With an extraordinary take on Norman Rockwell's artwork, Chris fooled and impressed admissions to letting him into the College of Design. Chris's first book, The Garden of Abdul Gazizi, was a Caldecott honor book. This book features a recurring character, Fritz, who's inspired by Chris's real dog, Fritz. Fritz gets loose in the garden, which strictly forbids dogs on the garden's grounds. A tricky magician captures the loose dog, and Alan is forced to confront the magician if he ever wants to get Fritz back. Jumanji, a favorite book from my childhood, is a Caldecott Medal winner. It was adapted to film in 1995. Jumanji is a board game two siblings find and then decide to play. They prove to find out just how serious the game is when it says, "Once the game has started, it will not end until someone wins." Ben's Dream was published in 1982. In 1983, The Wreck of the Zephyr was added to the growing list of work published by Chris Van Allsburg. This book both has a nautical and whimsical theme. After a harsh storm, the boy is blown off course onto an island. The islanders are very surprised to see him because visitors are rare. This is not just any ordinary island. The people who sail boats here do so in the air. Following The Wreck of the Zephyr, The Mysteries of Harris Burdock was published in 1984. The Mysteries of Harris Burdock is a picture book with each image accompanied by a single line of text, which the readers get to interpret into their own stories. This book is a great tool to be used as a springboard for creative writing. The second book, turned into a major motion picture, was inspired by The Polar Express. Originally published in 1985 and the recipient of a Caldecott Medal, The Polar Express is considered to be a classic Christmas story for young children. The Stranger, written in 1986, is an unusual book. A stranger with no memory of who he is or where he is from is recovering at the home of a farmer during the fall season. The Z Was Zapped is an alphabet book published in 1987. Done in black and white pencil drawings, each letter goes through some kind of bad luck. The A was in an avalanche, the B was badly bitten. Two Ants, published in 1988, tells of two ants that decide to exploit a sugar bowl on their return home. This could end badly. Over the next 2 years, Chris would illustrate Swan Lake, written by Mark Helprin, and write and illustrate his own Just a Dream in 1990. The Wretched Stone would follow in 1991. This book is told in a journal format. A strange and glowing object becomes the sole focus of Captain Randall. This stone proves to be powerful and turns everyone but the captain into apes. The Widow's Broom, published in 1992, continues Chris's love and interest in anything magical. A witch has fallen off her broom, and because it is no ordinary broom, she teaches it to help out around the house. The Sweetest Fig, Chris's book for 1993, is an unsettling story of a cold-hearted French dentist that is given magical figs by a patient who cannot pay with money. His dog eats one of the magical figs, and the next morning the dog can talk and the dentist can only bark. Over the next 4 years, Chris illustrates two books written by Mark Helper, A City in Winter and The Veil of Snows. He also manages to squeeze in one of his own works, Bad Day at Riverbend. In 2002, Chris is back with Zathura, his third book to be turned into a movie. Zathura is similar to Jumanji in that two siblings find a space-themed board game and decide to play it. The boys are drawn into an intergalactic adventure when their house is magically hurled through space. Chris's last book was published in 2006 and called Probooty. After seeing a magic show, Calvin and Rodney want to try some of their tricks on Calvin's sister Trudy. Trudy is turned into a dog and cannot be convinced otherwise. Will they be able to switch her back to normal before Mom gets home? Chris's work is most notable for his use of perspective. He draws from a child-eyed view. This allows children to feel more connected to the text, like it was made just for them. It can be argued that it appeals to adults because we may unconsciously want to perceive the world as we did when we were children. Regardless, Chris Van Allsburg is a force in children's